Hi, my name's Nicole Perry and I live in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I've been a stylist for about 6 years now, and growing up my mom would always take me into the salon with her. That was my favorite thing to do. And I love the atmosphere of the salon, everything about it. The beautiful people everywhere, the music flowing, all the trashy magazines that I wasn't supposed to be reading, and especially the mystery of what was inside each color bowl and how that was going to transform my mom's hair. So not only did I love going to the salon with her, but I loved blow drying her hair too, and she didn't mind that at all. So anytime I blow dried and smoothed her hair out, she felt like it was the best job anybody's ever done. Of course your mom's going to say that, but it made me feel good and it inspired me. So somebody asked me why I wanted to do this and what I would do if I couldn't do this, and that got me thinking when I decided to write everything that I was going to say in this video. And I really feel like my drive is what's pushing me to do this. I've always had some kind of motivation inside of me saying that I have to keep going for more. And I feel like I'm at that point where I've become an educator in my salon, and seeing that I can do that and that I can inspire somebody else while making my guests look beautiful really makes me feel good. And I feel like I'm making a difference in this industry. So I really just want to inspire others and give back what I've been given, having all the mentors I've had in my life. It's really made me who I am, and they've given me direction, so I feel like I need to give that back to other people. Aspiring stylists that are here now, and being able to teach somebody something is something that not many people can do. I didn't like that. How's my hair? Okay. So I feel like I've been part of it this whole time, thanks to all the amazing education I've always received from Redken. When you go to an event, you just feel like you're an artist, and the way the artists make me feel is the way I want to make somebody else feel, empowered. So thank you for all of the education I've received thus far, and growing me into the stylist and the person that I am today. I wouldn't be this way without you. So I hope you enjoy the rest of my video. Hey! Okay, so I'm going to do some splash lights on Erica. She's pretty over her drab, natural brown hair, and she really wants something that's different and light reflective. So of course, my mind came to splash lights. So splash lights to me are, it's a transition in color, and it's from dark to light to dark again. And just depending on what variation you want, you can get a hard line, you can have a softer line. Erica really wants something natural and softer, so we're going to do some softer splash lights. Very blended. She likes blending. So, with splash lights, I think it's really important to know where you want to project the light. So here I drew a pretty head, and she's got some darker color here, darker at the bottom, and then right in here she's got a nice pop of light reflection. So where do you want to direct the light? It all depends on her facial features. Some people who have not so much of a prominent jawline, I feel like the light reflection really helps to draw your jawline outward, which is great for anybody's face shape. It's kind of like an instant facelift. Who wouldn't want that? And then also somebody who has a really great jawline already, it would just give you kind of like a highlighted effect, so it would make it look even more prominent. So I'm going to give Erica a more prominent jawline. I'm sorry, cheekbone. Was I saying jawline the whole time? I meant cheekbone. Okay. So we'll give her a little facelift. So before I start with the pre-treatments, I want to explain to you something that I thought was pretty cool. I feel like sometimes it's a little bit difficult to get inspired and to figure out what you want to do with hair color. So something as simple as making an inspiration board or a vision board is really great to help and sort your ideas on paper, ink it. That way you know exactly what you want to do, you can make a better plan, and your execution is much better. So I put some pictures here of some inspirational pieces. Some of these I found on Instagram that was really cool light reflection pictures. So shout out to everybody on Instagram who helped me put this together. And then some of the other pictures are just pictures of splash lights that I really liked. I believe she works for Redken. She's got some really blended, beautiful splash lights that are highlighting her face really well. And here are some splash lights that I saw also, and they were carried out through the neckline, so it kind of made her neckline look a little bit longer, I feel like. And then these are some splash lights that I did myself on a guest, and they turned out great. We put a little bit in her fringe too, and that helped to really bring out her eyes. So, that's an inspiration board. I feel like it's really great if you just need to think a little bit more. It helps you. So, with Erica's hair, I started off by pre-treating her hair. We use Redken's Pre-Art, which basically helps to remove any kind of impurities, any kind of mineral buildup, product buildup. If you have previous color, such as box color maybe, that Erica may have come in with, but she didn't. We like her. We would do a pre-art treatment. So you would just apply that at the shampoo bowl. It's an oil-based substance, so it really helps to get in, open up the cuticle with some heat after you've put it on all of the hair, and then we'll shampoo that out with hair cleansing cream to remove everything from the hair. And I like to shampoo it out with hair cleansing cream at least 3 times, because I feel like if you don't, you still get a little bit of an oily residue, and you can feel that buildup still in the hair. So then after that, I would do Redken's chemistry system. It's really good to have a nice foundation and base of protein. So I'm going to use the Extreme, and then put a fix phase on it and seal the cuticle back up so that we can properly color her hair. And I feel like with all of these treatments together, you really get a clean canvas and you get more predictable results. So pre-treatments can sometimes save your life. Okay, so the products I've chosen to use today too, I'll put her formulas up here on the board. So that way you can see what I'm using. Chromatics is awesome. It's great for shine. Erica's lacking a little bit of shine. She's getting kind of dull. So we wanted to amp it up a little bit without giving her too much maintenance. So I chose to use 5VB Violet Brown. I feel like that's going to really richen her natural color and give her somewhat of a different look instead of just a normal flat brown color. And I'm going to use 10 volume at her base color, so the first part of her hair color right up here through zone 1 and a little bit through zone 2. Right before we get to the splash light, I'll use 5VB with 10 volume. That way it's a little bit deeper. We don't need lift on her hair either, and we're not trying to cover any gray. So then I'll use on zone 2, where we want our splash lights to be. I find that with natural hair color and somebody who's got a pretty medium level of hair, such as Erica, you can really get some major lift out of clear. So I'd prefer to use that because it's going to be 2 times more fortifying, and lightener won't do that for you. So we'll use clear right in through here to accentuate her cheekbones. And I'm going to use 30 volume with that. 30 volume is going to give us some lift and make sure that we get that pop of color that we want. And then through zone, what really is probably zone 2 still, the end of zone 2, but we're going to call it zone 3 just so that we get the difference and you can see on this board what we're using for our formulas. We're going to use 5VB with 20 volume, and that's going to give us a little bit of brightness on the ends, but not too much brightness. So this will be a little bit deeper, then it'll transition to the lightness of color, and then down through the ends, we'll have it a little bit brighter than zone 1. So that's our formulas, and now we'll get started. Okay, so we're gonna section Erica's head into 4 quadrants. I feel like the easiest way to find the points of the head is to use your comb. So for the highest point of the head, I want to balance my comb on top of her head and rock it back and forth until it's flat. And that flat point is the highest point. So Erica's high point of the head is right there. We're going to get a clip and clip it out of the way. And we're going to do the same thing on the opposite side of her head. This is going to allow her hair to have a better splash light, I think, because it's just going to be in the natural falling position. So when she wears her hair down, it'll be exactly how she wants it. And I like to face my clips upward too, because then gravity doesn't take over and all the hair falls out. And in the back section, Erica's got kind of a cool haircut right now. So underneath here, and we're really taking this from the center of the nape of the neck, just straight down the back, or up to the highest point of the head. We're going to start in the front, so we'll section all of these off and clip them out of our way. Let's let Erica face you. Okay. So since I want the splash lights to fall right in between here, I'm going to let pretty much from the corner of her eye down, just be the zone 1 formula, which is 5 VB in chromatics and 10 volume oil and cream developer. Flip that out of our way. Now we want to have paper fine sections so that we can read through this if we needed to, read the newspaper. Especially with chromatics, you need to have very thorough saturation. It does not spread itself, so you need to make sure that you have a good coating of it. So I'll put a foil on my board. This is going to start off our, it's going to give us kind of a palette to rest on from here on out. And then I'm going to place the 5 BB all the way through. And then we'll leave our foil there and continue up through the hair. Let me turn her a little bit more towards you so that you can see her better, and I'll put this on my side so that I can work better. Oh, that section just fell right off for us. Same thing with this. Zone 1, all the way down through zones 2 and 3. See how easily we can rest on our foil. I really love chromatics on fine-haired guests because I feel like it gives them volume instead of taking it away, which everybody's always afraid of because it's made from oil. But I find you get a little bit more volume. So another good thing about this foil, besides it helping us to get a little bit more pressure, is all of this color is going to stay away from Erica's face, so she's not getting smacked in the face with color. That's never fun. So right about here, right about at the top of her eyebrow is where I'm going to start changing up the way I put color on. So now that I've gotten this underneath color as a base foundation put on, I put a second foil on top of it so we have a clean canvas now. So I also put these pin curl clips where I want to start and end our transition of color into the clear in this middle part. So we're only going to put the clear in the center section, and the rest will be with our other two formulas. So I'm going to take my next section down here. And I'm going to apply our Zone 1 formula. And then I'm going to apply in the center section our clear with 30 volume. And then right below this clip, Zone 3. Now right now I'm just kind of placing them in a hard line, and I'm going to come back with a dry brush and lightly sweep upward. Not too much, but just enough to blend our line. So I'm not going to use another foil. I'm going to keep layering this on top of each other. So I'll take this next section and place it directly on top of this. I feel like when you place them directly on top of each other, you get more of a blended line by the color kind of meshing together. So I'll apply our Zone 1 formula again. And now I can clearly see, even though I have this color down here underneath, where I'm putting our splash light. Even saturation is huge. Now I'm coming down here with our Zone 3 formula. I'm just working that through. And now that I've wiped off our dry brush, I'm going to take this now and come down. So now we're going to get a more blended line. Again, take the section down, and you're just going to keep working your way up until you are out of this section. And guess what we're going to do on the other side? The same thing. We're going to match these clips up on the other side, and we're going to replicate exactly what we're doing here. Place our Zone 1 formula. Use our hand. It's a little bit easier now at this point to use your hand rather than the foiling board. And then take our Zone 3 and place that. Make sure you wipe your dry brush off, because then it won't be a dry brush anymore if you don't wipe it. I'm almost doing like a squiggle motion, adding a little bit of curvature to the line. If you start to get too much product in your brush, just wipe it off and continue. Off my brush and bring this on down. I like melding the colors together. It's like artwork. And I really like to keep my area pretty clean so that when I'm using all these different formulas and trying to keep things organized, it doesn't get so complicated and messy looking. It never looks good to our guests. Since we're keeping this 5VB pretty close to Erica's natural color, she's not going to have a really hard time when it grows in. I think that makes it a little bit more appealing to the average person who thinks that they can't pull off something like this. I mean, really, they can. So as you see, when we start to get further up on the head, you're going to have a little bit more of the zone 1 color. Because of the way the head's shaped and where the hair's coming from. And I think it's kind of cool to alternate rocking your brush up, your dry brush up, and rocking it down. It'll appear a little bit more blended. Really don't want to play around with it too much. I feel like the more you try to blend, the less blended it ends up looking sometimes. We still want a statement, even though we want it to be blended statement. chose the VB It's going to give you an even better contrast. The violet mixed with most likely the more golden tones. So something you can do too, if you find that when you lift this clear color, maybe it didn't turn out quite how you expected it, Shades EQ Gloss is great for something like that. You can easily shampoo her hair out, check out the color, and if it's a little more warm than you'd anticipated, bring her back to the chair and blow dry her hair, and you can do a Shades EQ Gloss to counteract a little bit of the warmth, maybe balance it out a bit. Nobody likes orange hair, unless it's on purpose, because in fact we wouldn't call that orange. You're going to finish this all the way up this side of the head, and like I said, when we get to the other side, we're going to mimic the exact same thing so that we have an even base to transition into the clear. And then we're going to go into the back area. I'll pause this for a second so I can explain to you how we're going to do the back. And I'm going to follow the same line all the way around. So I'm going to do her base color up to the area where we'll transition into clear, and then do the exact same thing I did here as I did everywhere else. Nothing will change. I just really wanted to for you to get to see the blending and how we would do a splash light. Now, if you wanted to have your sectioning slightly different, to maybe angle upward, you would follow the same line around the head and angle this upward. And if you wanted to have it diagonal back, that would be diagonal forward. If you wanted to have this line angled diagonal back, then you would follow this line all the way around, just drop this down a little bit. So you're almost creating a circle around the head in the area that you want the splash light to be. So there's several different ways that you can do this. I think I'm going to do a nice even approach. She likes symmetry. Place my clear. Breathe and pick up my dry brush, lightly blend, wipe, and lightly blend. Okay, Erica's finished. She looks beautiful, and her splash lights turned out awesome. We'll give you a close-up in just a sec. And that's a little preview. So I shampooed Erica's hair out with hair cleansing cream. I did that twice just to make sure that all the color was out completely. And then we towel dried her hair and did Redken's chemistry system. And we used a mixture of Color Extend and All Soft, just for a little bit of softness, and I think that gives some shine too. And then we used the 3.5 fixed stays for that, to seal the cuticle. And then when I brought Erica back to her chair, we put a little bit of pillow proof all through her hair. I probably used about 10 sprays of pillow proof blow dry, and this is a primer, which is great to make a nice base for any other product you're going to put in. It also has heat protection, and it's going to extend the life of your blow dry. So it's great for somebody who doesn't want to blow dry their hair every day, which pillow proof blow dry 2-day extender is awesome to extend that blow dry. And then, after I put in some pillow proof blow dry, I used Velvet Gelatin 07. We put a dime size of this all throughout her wet hair still, and then I gave her a nice blow dry. This helps to give some cushion. So you get a little bit of volume, but it really gives tons of shine and softness, and it gives a nice sleek look without it being too flat. And then, lastly, after we were finished blow drying Erica's hair and smoothing it out, I used Shine Flash 02. This is going to give her the intense shine, so her splash lights really are illuminated in the sun. So for Erica to take home, I'm going to recommend Color Extend Magnetics. She wouldn't want to use the hair cleansing cream every day. To keep her color extended, we want to use the magnetics. This is also going to keep her hair fortified and keep all of her color locked into her hair so that when she comes back to see me next time, we can just refresh it. Then I will recommend for her to take the Pillow Proof Blow Dry, some Velvet Gelatin 07, and Shine Flash as well so that she can recreate this look at home. Thank you so much. Let's look at Erica. Give her a full turnaround. She's so happy. Thank you. Hi, my name is Nicole Perry, and it was like pressing down really hard, and it was like a tree trunk. And I don't know why I can't think whenever I do this. When you go to an educational event, you really feel like you're an artist. And so I feel like I've been, is that